Chad Brownlee, and you're at Popularity.
Waiting for the new album to be released, there has to be some nerves involved there. What's the wait like?
Nerves in a very positive way. I mean, I'm extremely excited, obviously, to release this. I'm very proud of the songs that are on the album. But yeah, the wait really is the hardest part, as Tom Petty once said. And I just want to release this to the world.
When you went back to listen to the songs on the album, did any of them surprise you in either a good or a bad way?
Definitely not in a bad way. I'd say a few of them were surprises in the fact they turned out even better than I thought they would. We've had some really good musicians play on these songs, producer and engineer, and basically everybody involved. It seemed like we're all moving in the same direction, and we're kind of hearing the same thing. So it was really rewarding when we listened to the final product.
Did you ever feel unsure of the direction you wanted to take your music in?
Definitely. I think before I even started out, I mean, we're going back about 3 or 4 years now to when I quit playing hockey, and at that point, I didn't know the direction. I just knew that I wanted to play music. That was my passion, and slowly I started to, find more of a direction to where I wanted to go, just in my songwriting and in the people that I was becoming associated with, and my love for country music, and it just seemed like a no-brainer for me to go down that same road of country. And and as we go now, the direction becomes a little bit clearer, but at the same time, in music, when you're working with creativity, it's tough to really set your beacons on a certain direction and say, this is the direction I want to go. It's just making yourself better all the time as a songwriter and performer, and it kind of creates your own path for you in a sense.
Can you talk a bit about the highs and the lows that you experienced while creating the album?
Yeah, I mean, on this one, definitely more highs and lows, but, some of the lows being just, the struggle of finding that, perfect song. When you go to the songwriting room or you sit down and write, it's very rewarding and a very frustrating process at the same time, because it's not like you can just sit down and write the best song you ever wrote. You never know what's going to come out, and again, that's both exciting and frustrating. But when you look back on it all and you see all the work that you put into it, and you are actually proud of the result, I mean, there's no better feeling than that.
Do you see singing and writing songs as gifts or something else?
I think it's definitely a bit of both. I mean, everybody has certain abilities, and some people can tap into those a little better than others. And I think if you love something enough, I mean, your skill and your ability at those things increases. But when it comes to songwriting, I can't even explain it now. I don't even know where the ideas come from at times. I really think it's some parallel universe, but I love doing it, and that's the only way I can explain it.
Where does a song typically start for you?
Well, if we're writing with other people, sitting down in a room and writing a song, it's generally, you start with a conversation. If it's somebody that you just met, say in that writing session, I really like to take the time to get to know them, because that helps me understand where they're coming from when they're spitting out ideas at me. But if it's somebody that I know, again, it's just sitting down, it's getting comfortable, and I love ideas to almost spawn out of conversation, because that's where it's authentic. But a lot of times, songwriters, we have lists and lists of titles and ideas, and we'll kind of open up our black book of creativity and just see which idea resonates the best throughout everybody, and kind of go from there.
What makes a good country song?
What makes a good country song? Well, country is one of those genres where it's more of a story, in a sense. You're taking a listener on a bit of a journey, and so I think that's what defines country music more than anything. And people will obviously gravitate to the stereotypes, the truck and my dog and I lost my girl and all those things. But country is a lot deeper than that, and it is evolving into something a lot deeper than that. But definitely the storytelling side of it separates country from anything else.
Of all all the people that you worked on the album with, who taught you the most valuable lesson and what was it?
Um, well, actually, one quote just came to mind, which is rather funny. I think this pertains to not just the music industry, but a lot of other things. And one of my guitar players says, if you have the opportunity to either let someone smell your fear or let them smell your fart, let them smell your fart. So in other words, don't let them see you sweat.
What is it about this album that stands out to you personally? What do you love most about it?
Well, there's some personal songs on there. I wrote a song about my grandfather who passed away from lung cancer, and also another song I wrote about my dad. He's 66 years old, and he's just a big kid. He's living life to the fullest, and it's very inspiring to see that. And I wanted to turn that into a song. And there's tons of songs on there that relate to either people that I love or lost, and or just life experiences. So each song has its own story. They're all kind of like each one of those songwriters would tell you, they're like your kids. You watch them grow from their infancy when you first write them to after the studio. So you become very close to them.
Are there any parts of your life that are off limits as far as songs?
Off limits? Well, I mean, I'm sure there's some things that some people don't really want to share, but I think drawing from those intimate personal experiences helps communicate with the people listening to it. You kind of have to put yourself out there, in a sense, because that's what's real, and people want to hear what's real, because we're no different than everybody else. I mean, whether you're a musician, a songwriter, a doctor, or whatever, we're all human in the end. So it's finding what we all share and putting it into music.
Is there a specific type of song that you like to write, like a happy song, a love song?
No, I wouldn't say there's one specific one. I think it's kind of what the emotion is I'm feeling at the time, or what I feel that I want to write about at the time. And it does vary. Sometimes I feel like writing an up-tempo song, so let's write an up-tempo song. Or if I have something I needed to get off my chest, it's something sad that just happened. I really want to take advantage of this emotion in a way, and so it varies. I mean, a lot of my songs, some that are sad I really like, and some that are happy I really like. So it's tough to really pinpoint one type of song.
How did you, when you had a collection of songs, know that this was the album?
Well, it's a tough process. I mean, some of the songs that didn't make it onto this album, I really like, but at the same time, you kind of want a bit of a flow from the start to the finish, and they have to all connect or have some sort of relationship one way or another. So, and it's not to say that those songs won't end up on the album coming up after this one. They'll always be there, but it is very difficult because it's really finding the right order and the right blend. And so you try different things, and you sit with it for a while, and you talk with the other people around you that they're also working on it, and you come to terms.
Do you see making music as something that's magical?
It is. Yeah, I think that's a great word for it. It can definitely be magical. I mentioned before that some of these ideas or some of these melodies that just come from some other parallel universe that you can't explain, and that's what's so exciting. If you could explain it, if you could drop a formula, then everybody would be songwriting. But that definitely is the magic of it. Is that sometimes something beautiful comes out of it, and oftentimes you go back to the drawing board. So it's a very, very rewarding experience.
And any final thoughts or anything that you'd like to say to the Readers of Popularity?
Just thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you check out my music, and hopefully you enjoy it.